All right, folks, it's time for something we are calling Week in Review. So it was a wild week in politics. It is, of course, 2024, Trump versus Biden, Orange Hitler versus President Roomba. It's on. The battle is heating up. President Biden spent his week telling stories about his family in his famously down-home style. For example, he told the press about his war hero uncle.
And my uncle, they called him Ambrose, they called him Bosie. My Uncle Bosie was a hell of an athlete, they tell me, when he was a kid. And he became an Army Air Corps before the Air Force came along. He flew those single-engine planes as reconnaissance over war zones. He got shot down in New Guinea, and they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea.
Yeah, so that never happened. Even if it did, can you imagine having Joe Biden in your family? Like, what is Thanksgiving like? Does Joe Biden just drop this kind of stuff in dinner conversation with the grandkids? It's pretty heavy dinner party, change the subject kind of material. Oh, yeah, tough week at the office, Jim. That's rough. Did I ever tell you about my uncle, the appetizer? And all the kids look at each other, and they're all awkward, and they whisper to each other, oh, classic grandpa with the zingers and the cannibalism. Yeah. Unlike Joe Biden's uncle, Joe Biden's brains are actually being eaten by worms. But this is, in fact, typical Joe Biden. He loves telling stories that never happened. It's one of his favorites. So one of those favorite stories is the one about how his dad taught him the magic of gay marriage in 1963 in Delaware.
And I looked at my dad, and he just looked at me and said, it's simple, honey. They love each other. It's just basic. There's nothing complicated about it. That's how I was raised.
That's when I saw these two men going at it like jackhammers at the discotheque. And my dad said, Joey, Joey. He said, that's what love looks like. Like two burly men doing their best impersonation of an oil derrick. Biden describing this impromptu lesson on gay marriage in 1963. It's like saying people were binge watching Queer Eye for the Straight Guy during the Cuban Missile Crisis. The timeline is, how shall we say, suspiciously progressive. See, here's the thing. The media immediately rushed to pretend that this was all just Joe being Joe. Everything is fine. Nothing to see here. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Move along. But you see, Joe's campaign knows the truth, which is that the old man has lost it. They know it so deeply, they literally put out an ad called, I'm not even kidding, the ad is called Sharp. The message of the ad is simple. Joe Biden should be reelected because he can still occasionally kind of sort of wipe his own tuchus.
I've been a proud steelworker for 23 years, and I know hard work when I see it. I love to tell the story about meeting President Biden because when you meet him, this guy's as sharp as a knife. They have nothing else to attack.
Joe Biden 2024. He's smart. Not like everybody says, like dumb. He's smart. He wants respect. Well, meanwhile, America's college campuses have been roiled by protesters protesting against Israel or colonization or climate change or tuition or something. Really, it's all like the same big thing. The thing you know about America's college campuses is these are the smartest kids in America. These are the cream of the crop.
Do you know what NYU is doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here? Palestine will be free. I wish I was more educated.
Yes, these right here. These are the future engines of American growth. These people. Yeah, these ones. I mean, listen, it takes people who really understand engineering to build America's future. I like the plywood and the zip ties there to make a wall. That's how I built my house. That's how the construction guys built my house. You know, people who understand how to innovate, how to design, how to build. Those are the people building the future. I like that one. They're like it's like the Lorax. Remember in the Lorax, they put like the coin in the bucket and they pick it up with the rope. They're doing that with pizza. People who know how to negotiate.
But this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for.
Yeah, like these ones. Our future is in the best of hands. But there's some good news on the horizon. Time for a shout out to the dudes who will actually save the country. The most despised dudes on college campus since time immemorial. The villains of every single college movie since 1970. The bros. The bros are doing the work for America. Check out these khaki-clad, polo shirt-wearing, solo cup-wielding bohemians. These are the dudes who've been targeted by every college administrator for generations. And they're still there, holding the American flag like bros should. A GoFundMe has been started for them to hold a rager. They've raised $500,000. $500,000. So cheers, bros. For all you do, this Jägermeister is for you. All right. We'll get to more on this in just one moment. First, everybody thinks that mortgage rates are very, very high. That's not totally true. Mortgage rates are still a lot lower than, say, credit card rates of like 22%. Think about how much interest you'll pay on that credit card if you only make the minimum payment every month. If you're a homeowner, a cash-out refi with American Financing can help you pay off that debt and lower your monthly expenses. The mortgage interest is tax-deductible. American Financing saves homeowners like you an average of $854 a month. Their salary-based mortgage consultants will show you how much you can save every month. No upfront fees, no obligation. You might even close in as fast as 10 days and possibly delay a couple of mortgage payments, giving you greater savings upfront. Don't wait another day to get the financial relief you need. Break free from the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. Call American Financing at 866-721-3300. If you call today, you might not have to make next month's mortgage payment. That's 866-721-3300 or visit AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Again, check them out at 866-721-3300. Time for some deconstructing the culture. Guys, in Way to Go Internet News, TMZ is reporting on Monday that Britney Spears has been in serious danger both mentally and financially since her conservatorship ended back in November 2021. Wait a minute here. Do you mean absolute strangers on the internet without any formal training in psychology deciding who is and who isn't mentally capable over social media? You mean those people can't be trusted? These ones, they can't be. I can't believe this. We need to hear directly from these self-proclaimed experts.
I hope to hear that, as fans, we're right, that the conservatorship is limiting her civil liberties, and I hope to hear that she's going to get out of it soon. That's what I really hope to hear today.
The people around Britney have not always had her best interest. The people who've been consistent in her life are her supporters, are the people who are backing her up, are the people who have questioned these court documents. People have read these court documents, people who have really dived in, people who have educated themselves on this movement, on the act of conservatorship abuse. And to be honest, it's hard to get people this informed, but this group of people is the most informed movement I've ever been a part of.
The most informed movement he has ever been a part of. The most informed movement. I mean, when I look for a therapist, when I look for a psychologist, that's the uniform right there. Like these people. Strong stuff. Well, according to sources, the former global sensation has burned through nearly $60 million that she had when the conservatorship ended. But listen, I'm sure that tweeting "Free Britney" or even creating completely fictional narratives about who clandestinely runs her social media, that is probably going to help, refill that bank account. Well, 48 hours after all this news broke, TMZ followed up with the inevitable 1-2 punch, reporting that hotel guests at LA's Chateau Marmont called police late Wednesday night in fear that a woman was having a mental breakdown, which, to be fair, was a break from them calling the cops on Hunter Biden. She allegedly was threatening employees and screaming out of control and fighting with her boyfriend, so paramedics were promptly called. You'll be surprised to hear the woman was Britney Spears. But hey, I was told that she was fine by the random people on the internet. By like glamorous gay guys in bare midriff tops who listened to Toxic a lot and like went out and bought boa constrictors and wore them around her alleys. Folks, do not listen to the internet. It is brain worms. How many mentally ill celebrities have to be let out of their conservatorship before we as a society learn the lesson that the internet is filled with stupid weirdos who shouldn't be let out of their house, let alone vote or decide the future of people with serious problems. But I hope Netflix made their cash from their trash documentary that led to Britney being freed, to lose all of her money and destroy the remains of her already wrecked life. Meanwhile, blast from the past, Barbara Streisand, you haven't heard that name in a while. She appeared to break the internet this past week. She did her best impression of your boomer mom and left a rather personal public account on actress Melissa McCarthy's Instagram. Melissa posted a picture with director Adam Shankman from an event in LA. Melissa appeared to be slimmer than we last saw her. Well, she looks great. Good for her. Well, Barbara commented, remember, this is for everyone to see. She wrote, "Give him my regards. Did you take Ozempic?" Well, that's the controversial diabetes drug that is being used by most of Hollywood to lose weight. So McCarthy fans jumped on Barbara and they called the question rude and disgusting. Come on, guys. She probably took Ozempic, right? I mean, like just a little. She's not doing it the old-fashioned way, the way Barbara used to do it, with alcoholism and cigarettes. A few hours later, Barbara posted a follow-up saying, "Oh my God, Melissa looked fantastic. I just wanted to pay her a compliment. I forgot the whole world was reading." Well, frankly, I'm all in on Barbara Streisand publicly posting her interior monologues. Believe it or not, she's been doing it for years. Really, like for years. She posted on her Instagram not all that long ago, "Over the decades, I've often been asked if my nails are real." And then she posted the answer. They are. Profound. All my questions have been answered, except why Barbara Streisand made Yentl. No one knows the answer to that question. No one. We'll get to more on this in just one moment. First, while Jeremy, Caleb, and I were building our business, we looked for no-brainer companies to help streamline our processes. Stamps.com does exactly that. If we'd wasted hours at the post office all day, every day, we wouldn't have been able to grow into the company we are today. Stamps.com lets you print your own postage and shipping labels from your home or office. It's incredibly convenient. You can prepare your shipping labels in minutes and get back to running your business sooner. Even better, you can take care of orders from anywhere with their mobile app. Scheduling package pickups is easy through the Stamps.com dashboard. For 25 years, Stamps.com has been indispensable to over 1 million businesses. You can print postage wherever you do business. There are no lines, traffic, no waiting. They'll even send you a free scale so you'll have everything you need to get started. Sign up at Stamps.com/Shapiro for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and free digital scale. No long-term commitments, no contracts. Just go to Stamps.com/Shapiro. Again, that's Stamps.com/Shapiro. It is, in fact, a wonderful way for your company to save time and save money. There's no reason to waste time schlepping a bunch of packages down to the post office. Instead, save time and money over at Stamps.com/Shapiro for that 4-week trial plus free postage and free digital scale. Here's something no one in Hollywood has said in a decade. Let's check in on what Susan Sarandon is doing. Well, this past week, she appeared on the Katie Halper show to give her opinion on the situation at Columbia University. Because if you want the most unhinged and offensive take on the Middle East conflict in entertainment, you can go to this one. I do like how Susan Sarandon and Michael Moore are becoming one person gradually.
And Run DMC.
Yeah, exactly. She's wearing outfits from Run DMC and gradually morphing into Toodles from Hook. It's been what, a few months since this actress had to apologize for saying something dumb about the Jews. Well, set that calendar back to 0 days. Let's hear what she had to say this time.
Columbia made this mistake. They just overreacted. They could have just let it sit.
They overreacted, the police. Yeah, like this, and this, and like this. It's the police's fault, you see. Apparently, Susan Sarandon just wanted the school to sit around until all the buildings had been violently occupied, like all of them, like one wasn't enough. And listen, once they're done with those, then maybe the students can occupy another place in New York. Yes, her $8 million apartment. Listen, if Susan is anything, she's a woman of the people. She's a commoner even. She loves everyone. Unless, as it turns out, you're paying like $200 to meet her. So this picture is from a recent 90s con in Connecticut. I mean, is she hard up for cash? Con in Connecticut? Con in Connecticut from the 90s? What is like the target audience for that? First of all, why would you go to Connecticut? Anyway, she went to the recent 90s con in Connecticut where fans paid their hard-earned money to meet Susan with her Thelma and Louise co-star Gina Davis. And they placed 3 boxes stacked up between themselves and the fans so they couldn't even see each other. The event was like Love is Blind, except with elderly women and overweight fanboys with mommy complexes. But listen, all this is all right. Honestly, I hope that she becomes an advisor to all of these protesters. And I hope they all take her life advice and do what Susan Sarandon would do. Okay, meanwhile, it's time for your reality TV update. Since TV's reality competition, Juggernaut Survivor, is currently in season 46. Wow. It is 6 years older than I am. That's crazy. You'd assume it would be difficult to still find entertaining weirdos to strand on an island and come home with weird bites all over their body. But nope, there is an endless supply. On this week's past episode, the final 8 starving contestants competed in a reward challenge for what the host, Jeff Probst, called the biggest reward of the season, Applebee's. Other reward options included the Black Death. When a contestant named Q came out victorious, he was given the chance to pick 3 fellow castaways to join him. And although another contestant, Liz, begged to be chosen, he selected 3 different competitors. When asked how she felt about it, here is how Liz responded.
Liz, do you feel comfortable talking about what you're feeling?
I'm pissed!
What is she, a Columbia University protester? I haven't seen somebody get that hangry since Chris Christie found out McDonald's discontinued the chicken selects. Yeah. Obligatory Chris Christie, fat joke. Alrighty, folks, that was the week in review. But we will be back here for much more insanity next week. Have yourself a nice weekend. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.